When I was in the religious circle, there's something that used to bother me a lot, and specifically when I was in the Christian Pentecostal realm, there's something that bothered me a lot, and that's speaking in tongues. I remember when I first witnessed it. In fact, it happened when I was still in the United Church of Zambia, UCZ, and a lady spoke in tongues, and then somebody started interpreting. So I asked my mom, I was very young at the time, but I asked my mom to say, what was that? And she said, well, that was the Holy Spirit. And, you know, that person is just interpreting whatever that lady said. So that was very confusing for me at first. So, I took it upon myself to say, one day I'm going to find out and I'm going to investigate what this is all about. Because for me, it never used to happen. Anyway, so that's when I basically went ahead and read the Bible. That was many, many years later. I mean, now I was a grown man, and I read the portion of the day of the Pentecost. It's in Acts. It should be in Acts 4, I think. Maybe Acts 4. I'm not too sure now. But anyway, it's in Acts, somewhere in Acts, the day of Pentecost, basically. When I understood it, for me, it was very simple. It just meant that when the Holy Spirit came upon the disciples, they were speaking in other tongues, meaning other languages, not specifically other like like the way the Pentecostals do it. So once I got the understanding of it, it was very comforting for me, and that for me, just that was it. From then on, I was no longer a Pentecostal. I moved. That's when I became a Seventh Day Adventist, because I told myself this is the one thing that I knew about this church that was artificial. So if you go back and you read the script and you understand it, nobody is going to be speaking in funny tones or trying to sound Hebrewish or things like that. There's no such thing in the Bible. Unfortunately, the conflict that happened when I went into the SDA was me finding out that the Bible version and the version of Ellen G. White's books was also different. But that's another story, topic for another day. But basically, what I wanted to speak about right now is the fact that speaking in tongues has been messed up by the Pentecostals, and whatever they do, they're just pretending, they're just confusing people, and it's really sad to be in the midst of a Pentecostal church and people are pretending. And even when you tell them they're pretending, they're saying it's the Holy Spirit when it's not the Holy Spirit, they're just lying. That's quite sad actually. Anyway, thank you.